So continuing from a previous video where we gave you percentages on what RMA percentage is showing up in different brands, we kind of redacted some of the data. So today's video, what we're going to be talking about is typically if you end up having an RMA with a so-and-so brand, how many days do they take to return your product under their warranty terms? So quick disclaimer, this is covering close to 3,000 systems that we shipped last year, and in cases where we have data which is limited, in the sense we have just 2-3 RMA cases, we were intentionally excluding it because that doesn't represent a correct average of the time that it's going to take for that brand to fix your product. So let's dive straight into it. Starting off with CPU. Now we have AMD with an average turnaround time of 12 days and Intel with 14 days. But just one quick point I have to tell you, the warranty process on Intel, even though that seems higher, has changed in the last 3-4 months. It's as simple as ordering an advanced replacement. So how it works with us, since we deal with a lot of Intel products, this is not a subtle flex. It works with a lot of other people too, is when we know we have a defective processor, we send the serial number to them and say, we need to replace this. Even before we've submitted that processor, we get a replacement processor with us. So kudos to Intel for actually implementing a service like that. Similarly with AMD, they don't have this quite yet, but their TAT is actually decent when you factor in the TATs which are coming ahead. So yeah, AMD process is slightly complicated though, but this is not a video about the process. It's about the time it takes. Now next up with GPUs, that you will note one disturbing thing in this table. And that disturbing thing is the max number of days. I know for some brands, it seems way too high. Now imagine waiting for 62 days for your Quadro card. The second last entry, NVIDIA, it's 62. So in case you didn't already know, almost no warranty replacement or repair works happens for Quadros in India. Many of these Quadros just simply fly back to Taiwan, get fixed or replaced over there, and hence the timeline is so high. Having said that, there are not a lot of Quadros which actually go bad. We just about have 7 in more than 200-300 Quadros. So fair enough, I guess. But not fair enough if you are kind of working, if you have a deadline and your Quadro goes poof, and then you're looking for a timeline between 9 to 62 days. That's not cool. So on an average TAT basis, turnaround time, in case you didn't know, we have Asus Gigabyte, Inno3D MSI, all in the late teens or early 20s. Not bad at all. I think this is fair enough. This is what we are living with, guys. GPU खराब होता 10-15 दिन रुकना पड़ेगा. That's what it is. I know we kind of try to push brands to make this better. Some of them get annoyed with us because we don't stop emailing or calling them until we get a GPU back. This is how it is. Tough part of the job. So yeah, our service team gets a lot of flack for this. But you can't help it, right? Like 50-90 खराब हो गया तो हो गया. क्या कर सकते हो? It's electronics. 1 in 100 or rather 3 in 100 will definitely go bad. Now coming to Motherboard, it's on your screen again. Again, you see the max days. We are not happy with any of the max days. But like I said in the previous category, sometimes when the stock isn't there, the buffer stock isn't there, it flies back, comes back in. But yeah, some of these guys have really horrible max days. So Motherboard brands are not that much better than the GPUs. It takes roughly about the same time. Now the trouble here is, for example, you report it on the 10th of April that your motherboard is gone. You write an email or whatever. Then you submit it. Now the smart way that all the brands, they calculate their timeline is from the day they received it in their service center. Not the time you submit it to their collection center. For example, they might have a collection center in Hyderabad, but their main service center is Mumbai. Now that board travels or the GPU travels all the way to Mumbai, and they start counting from the day they received it over there. So their metrics are often not like this, but we start counting from the day of the report. It makes sense, right? Utna din mere paas GPU nahi tha. That's what this is all about. Talking about RAM. Now some of these RAM vendors, now the table is on your screen, not much to say about over there. Talking about RAM vendors, many of them have very low turnaround times because many of them actually just give you a replacement right up front, but not all of them. And also depends on your SKU. For example, you'll see Corsair has an entry for 69 days. You would think, why is Corsair taking 69 days to actually replace your RAM. It's because it's a specific SKU. For example, Dominator. Not a lot of Corsair Dominator gets imported to India. And when it does, and it does go bad at times, it's gonna take some time. So that's what it is. And when you see the minimum days as 0, even on the motherboard side, you saw minimum days 0, and same thing on the RAM side. Those are the hand-to-hand replacements, so to say. Like submission and immediately you get a replacement. So kudos to the brands who are actually doing that with us. Like MSI, we know for a fact does that with us. Asus has recently started doing that. Either we replace from our inventory directly if we have inventory, or you go the whole hoop, yeah. So most RAM vendors, the minimum number of days is always 0 because they just immediately give you a replacement and be done with it, unless it's a particular SKU. Now, talking about storage, similar story all around. Max days, like I said earlier, happens sometimes. There's not shit on those brands, but yeah, your max days should not be that high, guys. Like everyone on this list, all brands included, just take this video as an opportunity to improve. Now, there is a problem. Everybody knows there's a problem. I know all of you guys are working on this. But yeah, this is us with just hard data. Should we say that? Similar thing with storage. You'll see storage and RAM actually trend very close to each other in terms of turnaround times. Their minimum days are almost exactly the same. It's always 0 for us because we don't wait for those brands to actually give it back to us. In many cases for motherboards, we do the same. In many cases for the graphic cards also, we do the same. So wherever you see 0, 0, 0, 0 days, it's us taking the hit and giving advance replacement. That's what it is. If we don't have stock, we can't do anything, but mostly we do carry stock of every running SKUs. Now coming to coolers, again, Corsair is right up there with 0. Li is also minimum days 0, but their average turnaround times are 15, 14. Li was a little, same thing with MSI. The initial set of coolers had problems. Then they changed the complete lineup. Then they have new set of coolers. Of late, we don't have much data from them, but initially their RMA on their coolers was not that great, and hence the report. We love MSI, but we gotta tell you where to improve, guys. We're working together, and we're gonna get this done. And you know the best part for PSU, we have no data available. Not because they don't get RMA, it's because we test it beforehand, and in case even if it's happening on site, we just ship you a PSU immediately. The next day, a chap comes in, changes the PSU, and be done with it. This is also because we use high quality PSUs and test them thoroughly before we ship. So here's me hoping that none of these brand people get upset about our data. And in case you're a brand person watching this, don't feel bad, guys. I mean, we love all of you, but you gotta be transparent with some of the data. And yeah, this is not a comment on your effectivity or anything. It's just that there is stuff to improve. Even in the work that we do, there is stuff to improve. Same thing with you guys. So don't feel bad. Have a great day. And yeah, I hope this video helped the viewers. One final disclaimer before I say bye. Your mileage may vary when you talk to these brands or have an RMA with these brands, because naturally a dealer or somebody who's doing decent quantity with these guys will have a different experience. They will know who to escalate this to. Would you guys be interested in making a forum where we are here to help? We'll just make a forum kind of a page on our website which allows you to escalate your issues, and if we think or if that gets upvoted or something, we actually just flag it to the brand. This helps the brand also, and yeah, this gives you a place to vent and rant. So let me know if you guys would like something like that. Wouldn't take much. We have a website. It's just about putting a plugin of a forum kind of thing. So let me know. Cheers. Thank you for watching. If you guys want any such more videos, do let us know. Thank you.